All right. Shalom, shalom to the brethren. What up to everybody else? My apologies for the late broadcast. I had a timer that I was on that I had to go live. I'm in the middle of handling some business that I thought was going to be handled in time, but apparently not. But anyway, I'm here. All praises to the Most High, y'all. Thanks to his son, Yahushua HaMashiach. And shalom to the brethren. What up to everybody else? Hope y'all having a tube day, a great day, a great yum. And let's get into it, man. This is what it do with B-Lew. Shalom to everybody. I can't see anybody's messages if you putting any up. Um, Today we are talking about the difference between our ancestors and us. And what kind of put this on my heart to bring this out today was because I was listening to some people talking about biblical marriage, right? And how the scripture outlines marriage and the rules and guidelines of things, right? And in listening to it, I was like, man, that stuff don't really apply to us in the same way. I mean, it does, but how people talk about it as if it's just as easy as it was for our ancestors to do it. You know, it's not just as easy, man. It's not just as easy at all. It's much more difficult to be married today than it was to be married in the Bible times, right? In the Bible times, you had more structure. You know, you had a lot less um in-house perversions. You know, the world is a lot more perverted now than it was back then. And I think when we read scriptures about how a wife ought to treat her husband, how a husband ought to treat his wife, I think oftentimes we don't really bring into account the traumas and the depression and the anger and the wrath that a lot of people have within them because of the captivity, because of the curses, right? I don't think we bring those things into full view when we talk, because naturally the scriptures are positive and great, and it makes you want to do them. It makes you want to do them how it says they ought to be done. But we got to realize, that things are different. You know, when you read about an Abraham and Sarah, you know, Sarah didn't get molested by her mama's eighth boyfriend. You know, Sarah didn't get beat and cussed out by her daddy. Well, the scriptures don't say she did or she didn't, just to be honest about it. But you know, it's highly unlikely. Now, she might have got disciplined, she might have gotten, things of that nature. But I'm saying in the context in which it would happen today, our ancestors didn't experience it. You know, Abraham didn't have 2 and 3 baby mamas. I mean, you had Hagar, and Sarah and everything, but Sarah gave him Hagar. Hagar was Sarah's maiden. She worked for her. It wasn't like he was cheating on Sarah with Hagar, sliding off, ain't nobody know nothing, then he pop up with a baby. It's just, it was more structured than what we have today, is what I'm trying to say. And there was a lot less trauma, childhood trauma then than it is now. And we read these scriptures and we act like as if we on level playing fields. It's a lot of things our ancestors had to deal with that we wouldn't be able to handle. And I believe it's a lot of stuff that we have to deal with that our ancestors couldn't have handled. You know, they didn't have Pornhub. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have BET. You know, they didn't have all these things grabbing at their attention, teaching them how to live wickedly and wrongfully. True enough, they had the other nations, doing things. And even that was bad. Many of our people couldn't even be exposed to what the other nations did randomly, much less to have it 24/7 everywhere you look, everywhere you turn. That's how we get hit with this stuff. And I just think we need to really realize that. So what I had to realize in my own marriage, because I didn't do a whole long-term counseling thing, we didn't do marriage counseling and all that. We kind of hopped into it kind of fast. There's an age difference, and what I had to realize is that you really have to realize that stuff ain't gonna happen overnight like how you want it, just cause you want to do right. Cause you're not in the world no more. You're not cheating and whoremongering. You think everything just gonna be peachy keen and everything gonna go your way. That's not how it works. Just cause you want to be righteous, just cause you want to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments and all this stuff, that don't mean everything is gonna go your way. I'm trying to tell you, if anything, it's the opposite. Because you want to do so right, that's what's gonna make so much trouble and hassle come into your life. But I'm here to tell you, brothers and sisters, to cause you to consider, not to be disheartened by the fact of you not like Abraham and Sarah. You not Jacob and Leah, Jacob and Rachel. You not Isaac and Rebecca. You're not. And you're not going to be. You're not going to be. You're going to be you. Your wife's going to be them and your husband's going to be them. And y'all going to have to work out your own salvation. Y'all got to work out your own marriage in your own way. True enough, you can have help and aid from others, but at the end of the day, y'all individually are gonna have to do what needs to be done or not do what don't need to be done. And that's an individual basis. You can get all the counseling in the world. People can have all the best intentions and all that, but at the end of the day, you got to survive game day. You got to perform on game day. When it's time to perform, everybody got to come with, got to take all that knowledge, all that understanding, and you got to put it to use. And you and don't be discouraged by the fact that it's not working out how you want it to, when you want it to. The trauma and the problems that your wife or your husband got didn't happen overnight. It's years, weeks, months. Some people, decades of trauma or of not dealing with certain things, cause them to be how they are. And you going and it may take that long to get them how you want them to be. I'm just trying to tell you, you know, we don't even hear about most our ancestors in the Bible today in their 40s and up. We don't hear about these people as teenagers, as toddlers, or you know what I'm saying? Prepubescent years of Abraham and all that. We hear about these people, they grown already. So a lot of stuff is mysteries. I know it's other books out there that speak on other things. I'm talking about for the most part, you don't really get a detailed description of people's lives all the way through. You get bits and pieces of people's lives. You know, they say it ain't no guide. There's no guidebook to parenting. Truth be told, there are guidebooks. There are books that tell you how to parent. But at the end of the day, that book, you know, how the kids reacted in the book ain't necessarily how your kids might react. Some person might tell their child, be quiet and sit down, and their child be quiet and sit down. You might tell your child to be quiet and sit down, and it throw something. I know my son grab something and throw it, and yeah, he different. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's rules and stuff, man, don't apply to everybody, man. So don't be watching other people and think they got it all figured out. And they got their marriage figured out. That don't mean they can be able to help you figure out yours. You know, they could give you pointers when you get in certain situations, kind of mindsets to have, things you could try. That don't mean it's going to work. I'm trying to tell you. So don't be discouraged. Don't be disheartened by things not going your way. Just stay down, stay focused, have a quote unquote spirit of long suffering, that you keep checking it out, that you keep working on it, you know, and if you keep working on it, most times it'll work out. But Hasatan, the devil, know just how to get you to quit, man. He know you ain't got no patience. He know he ain't got no patience. So you know what he said? I'm gonna stretch him out. I know he looking for the quick fix. I'm gonna stretch her out. She looking for it to be fixed right now. She looking for it to be fixed in 20 days. She don't even know on the 21st day, on the 22nd day, that thing gonna be fixed. But you know what? She gonna tap out on day 19. That's how it work, man. That's how it work, man. You know, and we read these scriptures, and people hop on YouTube, hop on Facebook, and they tell you, oh, this is how you ought to run your house. This is how you ought to do that. Your wife ain't that. Your wife is not that. Your husband is not that. This Negro ain't never had nobody teach him about being a man. Ain't nobody taught him about spending nothing. He just got a good personality. He make you laugh, and, you know, he might could put some of that pipe on you. But all that other stuff, you're going to have to work with him on. You're going to have to work with him on his anger. You're going to have to work with him on his money spending. I mean, don't be thinking all this stuff sweet, man. Stuff ain't sweet. Fellas, your wife always running off at the mouth, but she love to pray. She love to get in them scriptures. But every once in a while, she act a damn fool. You gonna have to work with her. You gonna have to work with her. You know, you got to get her to how you want. You got to instruct her in your ways. And she ain't gonna get it off the flip. If she care for you enough, she gonna, you know, work with you on it. But don't be surprised when it don't go your way. Just don't be surprised. That don't mean it ain't gonna always not go your way. You got to be long suffering. I think about the Most High. I think about the Most High dealing with us as a nation, and how he called us a wife. Not only a wife, but a wife that's a whore. He said, listen, you out here sleeping with everybody. He said, you out here killing my kids. You killing my kids, and you sleeping with everybody. But he said, if you change, if you get yourself together, he said, I'll take you back. I'll take you back, baby. I'm paraphrasing, by the way. This is not verbatim in the scriptures like that. But, you know, for the most part, anybody that know what I'm talking about, they know I'm telling you the truth. And that's how we got to see it. If he had to go through, if the creator or the heavens and the earth had to be long suffering with his bride, with his spouse, how we think we just gonna get everything we want off the flip? He been dealing with us for 7,000, 6,000 years, and we still ain't got it right. I'm just saying. So, you know, let's just be mindful, man. And let's not get all excited and stuff because we read a couple scripts. And people love to beat their spouses over the head with these scriptures. And true enough, it be some truth to it. You know, you should behave like this. But let's understand why they don't. You know, why don't you do what I tell you? Why don't you listen? You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to talk about that real quick. I just want to talk about that real quick because I was listening to some people today, and it really kind of disturbed me. The fact of it's not realistic what is being taught to people and preached to people as if this whole thing is immediate. It's not immediate. Ain't nothing about it immediate. Because if I was looking for immediate, I'd have been divorced. I'm just trying to tell you right now. If I was looking for right here and now, you know what I'm saying? And this is also what I learned. Sometimes it ain't about what you want. It's about what you need. You might have wanted something that wouldn't worth a damn. You probably want stuff to go a certain way. But if it was to go the way you want it to go, you probably end up in hell somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You probably end up real bad. But what you need is going to give you hell at first, and then it's going to give you quote unquote heaven later. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for. That's what the Most High looking for. He looking for a remnant in the latter days. You know what I'm saying? You got to look for a remnant, a righteous remnant in the latter days. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to look for. You know, long suffering. And I'm your brother, and I just wanted to bring that to you. It's what it do with B-Lew. All praise to the Most High. 12 tribes, one nation.